I say 11K and pray, but if the stock market gets hard enough, you could go down more. $10K would have been the bottom with a 65K top. That would have been an 85% dump. But since we went up another 6%, that moves the bottom up, I believe 6% to 10,350. I say 11K because it's just easier to hit and people like to front run my calls. And so it's just easier and safer to hit it. But really, because the dollars are for the first time becoming more valuable. I mean, you see the DXY at 20-year all-time highs. Right. So the dollar is at 20-year all-time highs versus all the other fiat currencies.
Sure.
And then, isn't that weird that if you thought that the dollar sucked because everything got more expensive, imagine holding one of those other fiat currencies. The euro just a week ago was worth less than the dollar. 15 years ago, it was 1.4 to the dollar. So the euro has lost it's lost a third of its value versus the dollar, which is the same thing as the dollar gaining about 50% versus the euro. So if you were going to take your dollars and then buy European real estate, it's on sale, guys. Everything in Europe's on sale. Everything in every other fiat currency denominated that's not dollar is on sale. But still, so basically what that means is inflation is destroying people that have the dollar, but it's also destroying even harder people that don't have the dollar, that have other weird currencies like the euro, pound, yen. I think that 11K and pray is the right way to look at this. Hope that Bitcoin hits 11K and it's just happy to stop there.
All right. Because
with the dollars getting more expensive and the interest rates slowing and the risk on assets getting beat up, you could get extended performance lower than an 85% drop. You could get a 95% drop. Now, to tell you what that looks like, that's an extra 66% dip. So when you drop from 85 to 95, you would have had 15 left over, but now you've only got 5 left over. And so you got another 66% dump. So it's an interesting way to look at these drops. So like you could see Bitcoin down at 4K, 5K, sure. You could see Bitcoin at 5K because the dollar's getting more expensive. So I say 11K and pray, but if the stock market gets hard enough, you could go down more. But it all cancels out, right? Because look, yes, your crypto went down, but all the stuff you want to buy went down too. So it cancels out a bit, Well, you're getting beat up by inflation, and then you're getting beat up by you can't even keep up with the dollar. So the dollar's getting murdered and you're getting murdered. So the dollar's getting murdered and you're getting murdered versus the dollar. So you're getting murdered twice. Yeah. They don't name a product made in the UK that you buy. Name a product made in Russia that you buy. Apple, nope. Samsung, nope. Sony, nope. You're just like, they don't make anything good. So if your country doesn't make anything good, why do you think your currency will be good? For what reason would someone want to buy your currency? So if you have weak exports and weak production and weak GDP, why would anyone want what you've got? America is a powerhouse of productivity. You want the best electric cars in the world? They're made in America. You want the best computer chips in the world? Made in America. And so if you look at Hex versus Bitcoin, Hex is up versus Bitcoin 250 fold now, today, as we speak, from January 5th of 2020. It's up versus the dollar. So the returns are still absolutely insane. And that's the thing is it's like, okay, if Bitcoin's going to drop 75, Ethereum's going to drop 85, and Hex is going to drop 95, which one of them do you think is going to get up the hardest? Let's look at Bitcoin. In the 5 years from the all-time high of 2017, at the end of it, early 2018, till 5 years later, Bitcoin did a 3.5x its all-time high. It went from 20K to 69K in 5 years. It's trash. It's absolute garbage. And in 2 years, Hex went up 10,000x. So let's take Ethereum. You used to be able to get 2,000 Ethereum for 1 Bitcoin when they had their crowd sale. Now you can get, I think 14. And Bitcoiners don't understand they're getting slaughtered. You're like, hey guys, we know how to read price charts out here in reality land. And you used to be able to get 2,000 and now you can just get 14. You can only get 13 Ethereum for Bitcoin now, by the way. You used to get 2,000.
Okay.
Bitcoin wrecked. So a lot of these large entities in Bitcoin are true scumbags. So for instance, when I told you that Grayscale holds 3% of all the Bitcoin, that's the opposite of why Bitcoin is invented. That is a centralized counterparty that can choose to just not pay you. And then there's a website that tracks all these like industrial entities that bought big Bitcoin bags, and they have 7% of the total.
Well, okay.
And so like Mt. Gox holds 141,000 Bitcoin. What's the only thing they can do with them? Sell them or give them to other people that will probably sell them. That's it. How did they get those? Through fraud. The guy ran a fraudulent fractional reserve exchange that got hacked and had huge errors. And then, so he's got 140K. The guy already dumped, he used to have 280. He already dumped half of it. So that guy was dumping back when Bitcoin was 10K. He was helping push the price down to 3K in 2018. Mm-hmm. Who else has lots of Bitcoin? Oh, the Bitfinex hacker. He had 70,000 Bitcoin. And now the United States Department of Justice is trying to sell them, apparently, instead of giving them back to Bitfinex where they came from. Because, hey, I don't know, maybe the DOJ doesn't like crypto, I don't know. And then who else has a bunch? Ross Ulbricht of the Silk Road fame. Don't even know how many of the government seized from him, but they want to sell his stack too. And so you have all these giant, now, by the way, when I say 70,000 Bitcoin, do you know how much money that is? Let me do that math real quick. 70,000 times 22,000. That's $1.5 billion. So the Bitfinex hacker was sitting on $1.5 billion. The Mt. Gox people are sitting on $3 billion. And these are all going to hit the market. And if they don't hit the market, they'll go to individuals that may hit the market with them. This is all very bad for Bitcoin. You believe in supply and demand. This is a lot of extra supply. It's a totally different thing. We're talking about the quality, not the quantity.
Okay.
So has an exchange hacked $1.5 billion? Is there an exchange that got hacked that's sitting on $1.5 billion of hacks to dump? Nope. So the losses in Bitcoin have been gigantic. So and it's the quality of people. Because Hex has been primarily not on these centralized exchanges, it hasn't been exposed to these giant hacks. Because where do the giant hacks come from? The giant hacks come from stupid people that don't know why crypto was invented, putting their coins in someone else's wallet, not their own. So let me give you a list of places that have been hacked. Bitfinex, Binance, like almost every exchange has been hacked at some point. And so like, because Hex hasn't been on those things, it hasn't gotten portions of its supply sucked off into evil wallets and criminals' wallets.
Okay.
Small little bits, one by one, individuals getting scammed, sure, but not massive industrial, everyone gets screwed at once scam, like say Celsius. So Bitcoin's had two inflation bugs where anyone could mint as many free coins as they wanted. One time they did. They minted 140 billion extra Bitcoin. Oops, they had to roll the chain back. This was in 2010. More recently, 3 years ago, they had another inflation bug caught by a Bitcoin Cash developer. Bitcoin Cash LOL is down 99% versus Bitcoin. And he could have just minted as many free coins as he wanted, but instead he responsibly disclosed it. And so the most dangerous bug in cryptocurrency is, quote, inflation bug, where you just mint extra coins you shouldn't. You just mint free money. Let me give you a list of coins that have had these bugs. Monero, Bitcoin, XLM, Ravencoin, Bytecoin, AVAX. They've all had inflation bugs. Why do they keep having these problems? Because their consensus code isn't locked and isolated in an immutable, unchangeable thing like Hex's is.